Hi there, Interghost here with another pickups video.
Interghost is at the caboose. He's picking up games to show to you. He really likes to play on his Wii U. And if you think you've got a high score, well, that's what Retro Records is for. His XCOM team aren't living anymore. Him and all the dudes are singing out of tune. It's your friendly YouTube hosts, Interghost.
So yeah, that's another month gone. August has been and gone, and it's almost the end of summer now, so we're going into sort of autumn time almost. And yeah, so I've picked up a few things. I didn't actually think that I picked up that much this month, but I've gone through and had a look around to see the bits and pieces that I picked up, and yeah, there's quite a bit, so I'll go through it now. So first of all, I picked up a few more He-Man Masters of the Universe Origins figures, and also a vehicle. So the first thing to show you is this, and it's the Land Shark, which is I think it's one of the evil vehicles. And when it goes along, I don't know if I can get it to it, but yeah, there we go, it chomps its mouth. So yeah, I don't think that's that much. I think it's about £24–25. And yeah, I never had that one as a kid, but I remember other people having it, and yeah, it's really cool. It looks exactly like what I remember it to look like as a kid. And the first action figure I got was Clamp Champ. And this is what they call a deluxe figure, because it comes with extra weapons and also an extra head and an extra hand, which I'm not too fussed about the heads and hands. I don't understand why you need to pull them off, so that you can have one which can grip a weapon and one which is open-handed. But anyway, so you've got this, where's the button? On top. So you've got the weapon here which you press and it clamps. And you can reset it by clicking it back in. He's got also this weapon here in that hand, and he's got his body armor on as well. So yeah, really nice figure. The only thing I would say is this is quite heavy, so when you're displaying it on your shelf, you sort of have to lean in backwards. I don't know if you can see that, otherwise it will topple forwards all the time. I might have to get some of those stands which you click into the feet so that they stand up properly, but yeah, really like the look of him. Second figure is another deluxe one, and this is one of my favourites from back in the day. I think I've got the original one here, which I'm going to get rid of now because I just want to collect the Origins ones. But there you go, there's a side-by-side comparison. They've gotten very sort of close in their look. Yeah, so he has a detachable head as well, which you can change, and it has more of like a face shield on the other head and hand. It's got the two axes, and also it's got the spring action, so you can click him down, and then if you click him again, he springs up. So that was really clever that they actually included that in there. Must have been quite hard to put that into the figure. And yeah, so like I said, one of my favourite figures from back in the day, and happy to get that one. And again, these two are classified as deluxe figures as well, so they're slightly more expensive than the normal ones. These ones I didn't have back in the day either, but I remember a lot of people really liking these ones, and it's the battle armor figures. They come separately, so you've got battle armor He-Man and also battle armor Skeletor, and then on the front they've got like a pad which if you push it, yeah, it's got a bit of damage on there, and if you do it again, it's got more damage. Don't know if it's gonna zoom in on it. So yeah, so they're battle armor figures. They look very cool. Again, they got changeable heads, hands, and they come with an extra sort of weapon as well. I put the double sword together on that one so that Skeletor can have his shield and his staff. So yeah, the battle armor He-Man and Skeletor. Pretty cool. So actually yesterday I went down to the local game shop, and I think you can see one of the games playing in the background there, and I traded in again a load of what was it, mainly DS and Game Boy games which I'm not playing. A lot of them were sports games, racing games, like I said, games I'm not going to play, I'm getting rid of them. So traded them all in, and I got £45 store credit, which was really good. And with that, I got a couple of Master System games. The first one is what's in the background, and it's Predator 2, which I thought looked quite cool. It looked like an interesting side platformer. I'm guessing it's going to be a beat 'em up, shoot 'em up type game. So yeah, looking forward to playing that one. Now this second one, I didn't actually realise, it's called Rescue Mission, and it's actually a light phaser game. So you need the actual gun to play it. I didn't realise that when I bought it. From the back it looks like a down to top scrolling game where you shoot people. But yeah, you need the phaser for that. So I will sell this, or I'll pick up a phaser because I got the CRT TV. It'll probably work on there. So, but that one was only like £6 or £7, so not too bad. Also from the retro shop, they do have a few Switch games, and this is one which I was quite interested in. I've seen it on reviews on YouTube, and it's the Peaky Blinders Mastermind, which is, I thought it was going to be a sort of like a turn-based game, but it's not. It's actual real-time, and you have to wander around doing missions. You have to use different people who can do different abilities to try and achieve the goal of the mission. I've had a go on the first level, which is sort of like a tutorial, and yeah, it looks quite good. It's quite interesting. I'll let you know what it's like once I get further into it. And finally, from the retro shop, I got a PlayStation 1 game. I think because a lot of people are showing PlayStation 1 games at the moment, it's got me a bit more interested in. Metropolis is buying a few now, but I know a lot of people have been doing their like top 10 PlayStation games. But also, I've been having a clear out in my games room in the loft, and I've sold off, I had 3 or 4 PlayStation 1 consoles which I've tested and sold, and I've got rid of a load of the sort of PlayStation 1 games which I had, which I again will never play. So I've bundled them in with them and got rid of them. So it's got me sort of interested in getting back a few of the games I had back in the day, and this is one which I got from the retro game shop, and it's Fear Effect. Now this is one of my favourite PlayStation games from back in the day. Box is a bit ratty, it's all cracked and it's got those sticker marks on it. I've tried to clean it off as much as I can. The discs are in really good condition, and the manual's in there, and it's fine, so not too bad. I think it was about £15, so I'd be interested to see if it's stood the test of time. I know the graphics on the back look a bit sort of polygon effect, so yeah, we'll have a look and see what it's like. If I do like it, I'll pick up the second one because I also had that back in the day. And I got a couple more PlayStation games. This time these were from the charity shop. I was looking at the games, you know, they hardly have any retro games in charity shops anymore, and they had a bunch of PlayStation 1 games, and it was the usual sort of sports titles, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, things like that, you know, games people don't really want. But these were both sports titles, which, you know, I'm not a fan of sports games. But saying that, back in the day, retro games, I did like these type of games, and the first one is Player Manager. Now these are management sim games really, that you don't have to be into football to play them. It's more buying and selling characters and trying to work your way up the league. So I thought I'd buy that and give it a go. And these are only £1 each. It's also got a sticker on the front from a place called Software Box, which in my hometown of Poole, that was a little shop in the shopping centre which before games started doing it, they used to buy and sell second-hand games, and I thought it was just quite cool to see the old sticker on the front there. So yeah, £28, and I got it for £1. And the second one is Actua Golf, and again, these are sort of games I sort of enjoy, sports games. I like a golf game because you're not pressured, you can take your shot, you can take your time, line it up and try and play it. And I like the sort of PlayStation 1 style golf games when it had the commentary on there and that sort of thing. And when I was younger, I used to think the Actua series was called Actual, so I would refer to these like Actual Golf, but yeah, it's Actua. So yeah, another game for £1. So, and these are perfect conditions, no cracks or anything on there. The discs are perfect, and they have got the big thick manuals in there. So for £1, I thought, yeah, pick them up. You can't even get sports games for £1 anymore on eBay. From the same charity shop, I picked up a bunch of books. Now the first one I got is Sonic the Hedgehog, the Fourth Dimension. I've also got another one of these Sonic the Hedgehog games from this series. These are quite rare. I think they're worth about 10 quid if you try and buy them online. And I just thought I was quite lucky to find, this is the second one I found in the wild, and I was thinking of selling the first one, but I think I might keep them now and try and get the set if I come across them again. So yeah, quite cool little Sonic memorabilia book. Next one is Brain Teasers for the Commodore 64, and this is just full of programming. Like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the Commodore, more into the Spectrum, but they used sort of the same language, and I just thought if I ever do a bit of Commodore programming, this would be a good one. It looks like quite easy programs in there. If not, I'll move it on. This one was one I was quite surprised to see. I thought, oh, it's Storm of Swords. I've heard of that before, and it's the is it the third book? Yeah, book 3 of the Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. It's the Game of Thrones books, and it's a hardback one. This is I thought it was a first edition when I picked it up, which would have been really good because they're quite valuable now. But this is a first reprint, so basically it is the first edition book, but it's a reprint of the first edition book, still from the same time period, but just not quite as valuable, but still holds its value. And I just thought it was really cool. I am a big fan of the Game of Thrones books, and I'm working my way through them, so I'll keep this one and get rid of the paperback version I got. And the last one I got from the charity shop was Star Wars: The Truce at Bakura. I think that's how you say it. Another hardback Star Wars book, which I used to see these all the time in charity shops, and I wish I had picked them up, but they're getting quite rare to pick up now. And my son Leo's really into Star Wars, and he wanted a few Star Wars books, so I picked this one up mainly so he can have a read of it, but I'm also quite interested in seeing what that one's all about, so that's a good one. I think all those books were about 50p or £1 each. I think this one's all £1 each. So yeah, bargain. Sticking with the books, I went to my local library as well because they advertised that they had a book sale going on. Now these aren't library books, so I'm guessing it's a separate charity who does this, so these are all in like new condition. The first couple are from a author I've been reading his book The Fog recently, because my brother does a podcast called The General Witch Finders. You can find it on any podcast platform. I listen to it on Spotify, but it's on iTunes, it's even on YouTube if you want to look it up on YouTube. And this month they've been reading James Herbert's The Fog, so I thought I'd read the book as well so I could listen along. But if you haven't heard of it before, go and check that out. I'll put a link below to the podcast if you want to go and see it on YouTube, or look it up on one of your platforms. But yeah, so there's a couple more books. I got James Herbert's Fluke, which is a story about, I think there's a guy who dies and then gets reincarnated as a dog, and James Herbert Lair, which is a sequel to a book they actually talk about on the podcast called The Rats. I think there's Rats, Plague and Lair. So I think this might be the third one in the series. I used to have this when I was younger, but I haven't got it anymore, so I thought I'd buy that one back. These were all 20p each. I got Out of Oz, which is a sequel to the Wicked story. I think this is book 3 or 4, so I'd have to pick up the other ones first, but I thought for 20p, it's a huge book. I'll pick that up because I'm quite interested in reading the series. And finally I found this one, which is quite unusual, and it's Halo First Strike, which is a continuation to the game, continue the saga of the award-winning Xbox game. So I probably won't keep hold of this one, I'll probably move this one on, but I just thought, classic gaming book, brand new, no damage to it at all. Really interesting to find that in amongst the books. Also, if you saw my video a couple of weeks ago now, I did the Blockbuster Plus video. A few people unsubscribed after that, so sorry to annoy you, But yeah, basically a joke, and saying that you could go to your charity shop to buy some DVDs, and once you've watched them, take them back to a charity shop, and it's just like using a video library. So there was a genuine thought behind that video, but I was just having a bit of a joke. Most people got it, and I had some comments saying that it was really funny. Leading on to that, I went to the charity shop and I got a couple of DVDs. I think these were 4 for £1. So I got a couple for my wife, and these ones I picked up for me, and this was Flight of the Navigator, classic. Son Jack had never seen it, so as soon as I got home with that one, we watched that, and just as good as I remember it. Quality's really bad on this DVD though. I don't know if they ripped it from a VHS, or if it's just because it's an 80s film and they got it from the master footage and it's just not that good quality. But yeah, really good, fun 80s film. And the next one is Pirates of the Caribbean, Salazar's Revenge. This is one I saw in the cinema with Leo, my son, when it came out. I think it was like 2017 or 18, something like that, but I couldn't remember a thing about it. So I don't think Jack had seen this one, so we went through and we watched all the Pirates of the Caribbean films in order, and this is the last one. And yeah, they're for some reason, I don't understand why I don't like them that much. They're good films, they look really good, the acting's good, the effects are really good, and the story ideas are good. But I think they're just too long. They're not very memorable at all. I'm sure after about a year I'm going to forget what happened in this film as well. They're quite forgettable, which is quite strange because when you're watching them they're quite enjoyable. So yeah, this is probably not the best one. The best one's the first one, so watch that one if you're interested, but the rest of them aren't really that great. But yeah, for 25p worth a watch. Also, while we was out and about yesterday, we went down to Smith's toy shop, and while I was in there I found a Magic the Gathering box set. It was on sale and it's £5.49, so I thought, I haven't bought any Magic cards for years now, so I'm going to pick up these and see what the new ones are like. So this is a starter set which comes with 2 pre-made decks, a black set and a green set, and played this with Jack, and yeah, I still really enjoy them. The only problem with Magic is that I've got thousands of cards, and the effort it is to build up a deck before you play. It seems that you spend more time building the decks than you do playing the game. So, but yeah, still as fun as I remember it to be. And for £5.49 for 2 complete sets, including rare cards, I thought that was well worth a pick up. So if you're into Magic, go down to Smith's and see if you can grab one of those. And finally, I got this, which is the Shadowrun companion. Which Shadowrun is a game which is set in the future, but it has fantasy characters in it. So you've still got elves and dwarves and orcs and stuff like that, but it's set in sort of like a cyberpunk setting. So you have guns, and you have tech which is built into people's heads, and cyborg arms and that sort of stuff. And you have people who can plug their brains into computers, and you can actually, instead of going into dungeons, you go into sort of computer worlds, and there's creatures inside the computers who try to stop you hacking in. So yeah, it's quite an interesting, it's sort of like a D&D, futuristic D&D game. I've got a few of the books on the shelf over there, and this was one which I hadn't got, and it was going for quite cheap. I think it was about £5, £6, £7, something like that. And it's just extra rules for the main series. I think this is third edition, yeah. And yeah, really fun twist on sort of D20 D&D style roleplay games. So if you've never heard of it, check out Shadowrun. It's a good game. So there we go, that's all the bits and pieces I picked up over the past month. Like I said, more there than I thought I had. Some really cool stuff, some figures, some games, some books, and roleplay games. So I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry I haven't done many videos recently. If you do like the video, please do thumb it up. If you don't, thumb it down, let me know. Comments below on what you liked or what you didn't like, and if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, that really does help. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you again in the next video. Cheers.